the day the air gave way. The wind off the Atlantic cut cold across the sand dunes of Kitty Hawk on December 17th, 1903. It was the kind of wind that stung the face and rattled the nerves, strong enough to break a machine or prove it. Most of America had no idea what two bicycle makers from Ohio were attempting on that lonely stretch of beach. There were no crowds, no reporters, just a handful of witnesses and a fragile craft made of wood, wire, and stubborn hope. Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright had failed more times than anyone cared to count. Engines sputtered, wings warped, gliders crashed into sand hard enough to shake confidence loose. But each failure taught them something, and they listened. That morning, Orville lay prone on the lower wing of the flyer, hands tight on the controls. Wilbur steadied the craft. The engine roared, not loud but determined. The machine rattled forward along its rail, fighting gravity with everything it had. Then impossibly it lifted. For 12 seconds, the flyer hung in the air, skimming above the sand like a thought made real. 120 feet. Not far, not high, but enough to change the world. When it landed, hard and clumsy, the brothers didn't cheer. They smiled, quietly, like men who knew history didn't always announce itself with thunder. They flew 3 more times that day, each flight longer than the last, until a gust of wind finally smashed the flyer beyond repair. It didn't matter. Human beings had flown under their own power. Not by accident, not by myth, by design. Within a lifetime, planes would cross oceans, reshape warfare, shrink continents, and carry ordinary people into the sky. But it all began there, on cold sand, with cracked hands and relentless belief. Progress, it turns out, doesn't roar into existence. Sometimes it lifts off softly and never comes back down the same way again. Historical note. On December 17th, 1903, Wilbur and Orville Wright achieved the first successful powered, controlled airplane flights at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Orville piloted the first flight, which lasted 12 seconds and covered 120 feet. Descriptive details and internal emotions are dramatized, but the events, dates, location, and outcomes are historically accurate.